Hello everybody, welcome to Poland Daily Travel from the middle of the Odra River in Wracław. If you've been watching our previous segments for the last few days, we've been looking at different bridges in Wracław, this being the biggest city on the Odra River, which stretches about 860 kilometers from deep in Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic, what used to be Czechoslovakia, up into the Baltic coast by Świnoujście, which is a Polish city. Here we have Sand Island, and here we have the Cathedral Island, which is known as Tomski Island. Behind me, this bridge here, this iron bridge, is the Młynski Bridge, which means mill bridge, because you see there's a mill behind it, or at least it says that it's a mill. I don't know if it still works, but it would have at one time. They would have needed to be self-sufficient here on the island. They would have needed to make their own bread, their own beer, no doubt, and all sorts of things. They had a lot of monks, so I'm sure there was beer being made. Now, this is one of the Sand Island, as you know from before, was very strategic from the beginning all the way up to the Second World War. We're sitting between three prongs of the river right now. One, two, and then a third one over this direction, a little bit further away. But sure, hi. If we walk down this way, you can get a better look at this green bridge, which goes from Sand Island to the Cathedral Island. There's two big churches here. The cathedral's at the end, but there's another church, smaller church here, the Cathedral of St. John, or Jan, and we're going to go over and have a look at that right now on this fine July afternoon. Thank you for being with us. Watch the trailer. It's a good one. And stay right there for the second part. See you in a minute. Look at these locks. Hey, these locks, you know what these represent. Did you ever do this yourself? Put a lock on a bridge with the name of your girlfriend or wife and your name on there? Like Phil and Lisa, Master, Aneta and Maciek. I can't read a lot of these other ones. Does that mean, well, if you can't read it, does it mean the love is rusted away? I don't know. I mean, what does this lock mean? Does it mean you've locked yourself together? If anything happens to that, you're no longer together? I don't understand the symbolism of putting the lock there, but maybe I'm just not a symbolist. At any rate, oh, let's see what the dwarf has to say. You know, in Wrocław, they have all these dwarves, and these dwarves, they're like guardians of the city. And what they do is, I was told by the person holding this camera that there is some sort of German thing that's been taken over in Polish culture. Anyway, if you can see this fellow, the lady's taking a picture of him right there because he's cutting the lock. He's a dirty little fella. He's cutting the lock. But is he cutting the lock because he wants to break people up? No. He's cutting the lock because he wants the love to survive. And what's harder to survive than love over the long term? Nothing. Okay. It says Wrocław, Wrocław, I was thinking Warsaw, I'm in between. The Wrocław dwarves know what happens to the locks on the bridges, and they've designated one of their brethren, this little fellow here, to keep guard on the Tumski Bridge here. He protects the locks that were hung unwisely and lets the imprisoned love regain its freedom. He cuts the lock and the love regains its freedom because this dwarf knows that true love exists between people. Well, there you go. It can exist, but not in a rusty lock. Hey, don't lock your don't hide your love away. Don't lock your love away, as John Lennon said. And look at this bridge. This is nice, isn't it? Don't you wish you were here now? Don't you wish you were here now on this bridge, on this beautiful day, just walking along like this, just taking your time, and then what happens? I'll show you. If you can come this way, come this way. Look at this. This is one of the oldest buildings in Poland right here. This is a cathedral, the Tumski Cathedral of St. John. The origin of the city of Wrocław was right in that very spot. How about that? Let's go a little bit closer and have another view. See you in a second. We'll fade into that, and next thing you see will be the cathedral. Okay, everybody, hi again, and let's just take a look at this building here. Pretty amazing, huh? That is the Cathedral of St. John. And you can look, in 1945, the tops, certainly on the right side, and both of the steeples were gone. It was just flat. In 1945, after all the attack from the Russians, it was pretty substantial. But in case you think that's the only kind of devastation that ever happens, think again, because fire was also a major problem. In 1607, they had a fire that devastated this whole island, devastated it. All of these houses around had to be rebuilt. 1607, that's 400 years ago. That's when the English were settling for the first time, arriving the first time in Jamestown in Virginia. So it's a long time ago, but they still talk about that fire as if it happened only yesterday. At any rate, 1,000 years of history here, symbolized in this building, here on this island, the beginnings of Wrocław. I'm Will Richardson on Tumska Island and the Odra River in Wrocław. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. Just search Poland Daily Travel on both places. That's YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for watching. Have a great evening.